Hi, Sherry. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Jennifer. How are you?
I am well. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I got to
Good.
be totally honest. I was jolted awake a couple of minutes ago, so I'm a little bit fuzzy at the moment, but
That's all right. You know what? I've had coffee, so you just ask the questions gently, and then I will jump in completely caffeinated.
perfect. Okay. Well, I'm Prince, so I have a slightly different approach than people from me. So I'm just going to jump on in here and get started right now.
All right.
Um, I grew up in 4-H myself,
Oh,
and I love
wonderful.
you. So I was happy to hear that you're the organization's national spokesperson. Why did you decide to take on this particular role?
Thank you. Well, I also, as you mentioned, grew up in 4-H, and I have said it before and will say it again. It is not hyperbole. I would not be doing what I am doing today and at the level that I am doing it without 4-H. This obviously the new motto for 4-H is 4-H grows leaders, and when we talk about leadership, that can seem such an ambiguous concept, but the reality is in order to be able to be a good leader, one has to have passion, because no one wants to follow anyone without passion. And what 4-H does best, I think, is it allows kids to explore and figure out what that passion is. So for me, it happened to be the performing arts. I was involved in everything from a performing arts troupe all throughout my 4-H career. I was a camp counselor after I graduated high school. I was involved in the district and state boards, and I learned a lot from that about other kids who were like me, who had dreams, who had passions, and also, made lifelong friends too as well. So for those reasons, when I was approached with the opportunity to be the spokesperson, I absolutely jumped, because 4-H has given me so much.
Sounds like good reasons to me. So tell me about the Grow True Leaders rally.
Well, what we're here celebrating in DC this week is, as I said, that 4-H grows true leaders. And it's a time to honor these kids who have won in their specific projects. It's a time to showcase 4-H, to show the diversity of projects that there are out there, and to get people interested and to know that even though 4-H is the oldest youth organization in America, over 100 years old, it began as an agricultural project, an agricultural club. It has since diversified and evolved, obviously, with the rest of the country. I was just sitting here with a fantastic gentleman named Thad, a young man who had won the Youth in Action Award in his specific project, which was science, technology, engineering, and math. And they do robotics. So you have everything from robotics to performing arts to obviously also the agriculture that it was founded on. So yeah, we're here celebrating all of that this week. And you can learn more about it too. I just want to make sure that I say, if you go to 4h.org, you can learn what we're doing this week, and you can learn what you can do in your community to get involved.
Amazing. It's definitely expanded since I was in it. I won't say exactly when that was.
Right, no, you and me, neither will I. Neither will I.
I will say that I'm a little bit younger than you, but not a whole lot. Now, you talked about the project. There's so many more than there were before, but I did gardening, photography, sewing, baking, just about everything but agricultural projects.
Yes.
My family is kind of rooted in farming. It wasn't our family farm.
Yes. I did win a cookie contest. I will throw that out there. I'm going to put that out there.
What was that?
I said I did win a cookie baking contest. I'm going to throw that out there to you, Sherry. I mean, I'm not saying that mine were better than yours. All I'm saying is I did win the award in Coffee County.
Love it. And I have my record book still, the green record book.
Yes, the record book. See, this is so good. And you can, even when we talk about that, when we talk about what record books are, for example, they are opportunities for the kids. They actually show within their projects what they've done in their projects throughout the year. And this becomes part of what is factored into how they win the awards that they win. Because what it teaches them also, even in doing the record book, you got to meet deadlines. You have to be able to be organized. You have to be able to be at least a halfway decent writer and put a narrative together of what it is that you've done. I mean, the skills that you can get are really endless, I think.
Oh, I agree. what were some of your other projects you had?
Mostly performing arts. I mean, like I said, I did win the cookie competition. I did some public speaking, but I was also involved in the state and district boards within the state of Georgia, which is a wonderful opportunity for leadership there and a wonderful opportunity to grow community. I was a camp counselor after I graduated high school. So across the board, I really did a diverse amount of activity through 4-H, but performing arts was my main project. Big surprise there.
I can't believe I forgot to ask you, what kind of cookie do you win with?
Well, we called it a pecan penny. Pecan is what some people pronounce as pecan, but that is not what we called it.
Yeah.
But it was basically a shortbread, but a pecan-based shortbread, not an almond, yeah.
Okay. And to get more information, we can go to...
You can go to 4h.org, which is 4-h.org. I should put my cookie recipe up there. I'm going to have to dig that out. That's coming.
Yes, you should. Okay. Now I want to switch gears here and talk about your career, which you already touched on a little bit. Now, yeah. I heard that you recently recorded the duo with J-Lo. I think I saw that on Instagram, maybe.
Yes.
That's incredibly random. That's incredibly random. How did that come about?
You know what? Not so random, actually. I lived and studied in Mexico for a while, and I speak Spanish. When I was in college, I studied anthropology in Spanish, and I have a deep, deep love for the Latino community, and have wanted for a long time to record a song that at least incorporated Spanish a bit and that could be hopefully translated into Spanish. So I was having a conversation and a dialogue with my label president, Scott Borchetta, and as we were talking about it, he at the time was working on American Idol, which Jennifer Lopez obviously was a judge on, and I said, hey, can you get me a moment with her because I have an idea for a song that I want to pitch, and he did, and the rest is history. I went and chatted with her, and it is a song that has a fantastic message, and I don't want to give it all away because it is going to be a surprise that's coming out on my album Playing with Fire comes out May 13th, and this collaboration and duet will be on it.
Oh gosh, I can't wait. That sounds amazing.
Thank you.
Now, since I stand corrected that it's not random right now. Huge connections there. Who else who is apparently not, let's see, I just stepped in it right there. There's my tiredness stepping through. Who else would you like to sing with in the future? Someone who is off the wall.
You know what, Sherry, the collaborations that I've done over my career have been some of the most exciting and enriching performances that I have had, and I have had the honor and the privilege to have done so many diverse collaborations, everything from James Taylor to Lady Gaga to Adele to Beyonce to Rihanna. So I have obviously enjoyed that, but there are still those that would I think really get me excited, really as a music fan, to be able to work with people who I would say would be idols of mine. When you think about Springsteen, when you think about Sting, when you think about Peter Gabriel, Dolly Parton, you know, those are just to name a diverse few, but I would love to do any of that.
Okay, those are great. Now, my husband and I loved Sugarland. There was something about you and Kristian Bush that was just, I don't even know what to call it. We played some of your albums on repeat a couple of years ago, actually.
Good.
What do you miss about being part of that duo?
You know what? I mean, obviously, I love that music, and I would say the music is what I miss the most. I still pepper some of those songs in, though, and I'm still able to perform some of those songs within my live show. But I love that music and enjoyed what that project is and what that project was at the same time. But really, my job is pretty similar in the sense that, you know, I write music and record it and then get to go out and perform it. I think what is different is when one is in a collaborative effort, whatever it is, you're always going to show respect and deference for the other person in the room. Consequently, in going solo, I think I get to show a bit more of an more intimate side of myself to my fans, and to go a little bit more deeply into, you know, who I am as an artist.
That makes sense. I think that definitely makes sense. How has becoming a mother influenced the way that you view success?
Well, I mean, basically, anyone who has become a parent realizes that it is a life changer. So, one's work being encompassed in the holistic life, then one's work is also changed. I think it's changed me as an artist. I think it's made me more compassionate because it made me super, super vulnerable immediately. There is a vulnerability, I think, that is very specific to becoming a parent, that is pretty enriching in life, and for me, I think it also caused me to be much more emboldened, I think, because of that vulnerability on the flip side of it. So as an artist, it's changed me in that way in terms of my work. In terms of the logistics of my work, you know, I mean, Magnus, he travels around with me. He's a little gypsy baby on the road, but it definitely takes longer to get through airport security with him. It definitely, you know, what I bring along with me in terms of, you know, toys and sippy cups and snacks and all of those things, that has definitely changed what the tour bus looks like and the backstage for sure.
Well, I don't have a tour bus and I don't travel that often, but I have birthed 4 babies and buried 1 child, so I know what you mean there about it changing you.
You bet. Trajectory changed immediately.
One last formal question. When it comes to dealing with the web and the entertainment industry, who gave you that single best piece of advice, and what is it?
To give advice to whom, actually? Let me ask you that.
To you.
Oh, to
Who
me.
gave you the best piece of advice? Yeah.
In terms of the internet and
Who's
how
dealing with that?
You know what? I mean, it's an interesting.
Jennifer, I misread my own question. I meant the web that is the entertainment industry, you know, with all of its little nooks and crannies and intricacies.
Oh, okay. You know what? I think I can say this of the entertainment industry, but I can say this across the board, and I will bring this full circle and say also, too, that 4-H helped me in this in terms of having the confidence to be authentic. I think authenticity is integral to being an artist, because you have to be able to express yourself honestly and openly and confidently and truthfully, most of all, in a very vulnerable way, or else it's not going to come across as truth, and your listeners or viewers, depending on what kind of art it is, they're not going to buy it, meaning they're not going to believe it, not buy it in terms of their money, but they're not going to buy the message, so to speak, that you're putting out there. So I think authenticity is key. So be oneself. And be as true to it as you can be, and sometimes that's easy, and sometimes that is brutally hard. But I think that's the key.
Perfect. Okay, last one-word answer. What's your favorite breakfast food?
Ooh, favorite breakfast food. I mean, does it have to be one word?
It could be multiple words.
Okay, good, because I'm like, man, one word, that's not going to encompass it, because I love sweet and savory at the same time. So if I were having like a really decadent breakfast, I would have eggs, bacon, pancakes, the whole bit. Then I've got the sweet with the pancakes, I've got the savory with the eggs and bacon. That would be my go-to.
Good girl, love it. Okay, well, Jennifer, thanks so much for chatting with me this morning.
Thank you, Sherry. I'm sorry you were jolted awake, and go get some coffee, and check out and see what they're doing at 4h.org.
Will do. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, you too.